Hey guys, Lokanal, you're back again with another video. So I haven't uploaded for almost a year now, which has been a pretty long time. Um, it's been a little over a year. Last time I uploaded was on December 26th. But yeah, this video I'll be showing you what is on my modded Nintendo Switch right here. Um, I have it on Atmosphere 13.2.1 and it's the most recent software on it. If you can see my Switch, it does have a custom backplate on it and it does have these things, the Joy-Cons, but mine, I don't need to press a button. Mine are just like detachable like that because I took the latch out because I don't like pressing the buttons when I have the case on this thing. But I didn't install a mod chip on this thing, and this thing is just the way it is, like the serial number, because I got mine at launch, so that's how I'm able to hack this thing. But without further ado, let's get into this. So on my Switch right here, you can see it looks different. It's the PS Vita theme, and that's what I have on this thing. This thing is running, once again, Atmosphere Homebrew and everything. So as you can see, the icons are different. It's a whole different layout too over here. And in this whole settings menu and everything, it's going to show the PlayStation theme and everything like it would on other stuff as well. But yeah, to hack the Switch, you're going to need something called an RCM loader or an RCM jig, and you're gonna need one of these things if you want to put files into your SD card and everything, or even put games, because some games it won't like directly put it. You have to put it through USB and then plug it into the Switch. This thing I got for eBay for $20. It has a USB Type C, a USB 3.0, and it can read SD card and micro SD cards right here, as you can see. And here you go. Here's the RCM jig right here. So this is the RCM jig I have right here, and you can just take it out, put it over here, and then slide it in. Then the other one right there is one I made originally, but it sort of works, but it's very like flaky. It doesn't work that well. But let's show you what's on the Switch. First up, on the games, I have all the not PlayStation. There are PlayStation games on this thing too, but I do have all my Nintendo games I want over here. So these are all the Nintendo games I have right here, and you might be wondering what Tinfoil is right here. So what Tinfoil is, it's basically a free shop, and it's a way to download cartridges to your Switch. If you have an old cartridge or something here, you can just download it through the Switch like this. And if you have a cartridge, you can make it all digital. Like for me, I have my Mario Kart 8. I don't want to make this digital, because I just don't want to waste space on my SD card. Even though I'm running off a 256GB SD card, it's sort of hard to show you. Here you are, right there. But it's sort of hard to show because I can't take it out. Otherwise, this whole thing is just going to start doing some weird stuff. But it takes a second to load up. But here you go. As you can see, would you like to install? This is for the cartridge stuff. I always press no on it because I don't want to install it. But this is what Tinfoil is. You can download games and everything. Over here, you have new games and everything you can download. This is a whole free shop. So you can download all the games you want. Like, as you can see, there are a lot of Switch games here, but you have to go find them. Then you got DLCs for games like Super Smash Bros. And all that. So this is where you can go download your DLCs for stuff. Also, that's really what Tinfoil is. Also, on my Switch, I have something called Tesla. So if you press the L button, the down button, and this thing, it opens up this thing. It's called the Tesla menu, and I have overclocking on my Switch. So if I go here, I can like overclock it to the max if I wanted to. See? And it won't hurt the Switch really, but that's really what Tesla is for me and how I use it. Now, in the home room menu, you can open it by pressing this photo thingy. And this is what I have on my homeroom menu. So these three are emulators, and I'll show you how to run the emulators in a second. But if you just open up an emulator like this and play a game, it'll work with the Game Boy Advance games like this. But for other games, it'll show a whole crashing error sign. So in order to properly run the homebrew stuff, you better close the game. Then you want to open up a game real quick and run it, and you can press this button right here, the R button. And then it should just do this thing here. When you're over here, you can now play your games. So, for example, I could click the PlayStation emulator. This is PPSPP. This is PlayStation Portable emulator, and it's a great way to play your PlayStation games. As you can see, these are the games I have. So, you can just run Mortal Kombat, any PlayStation games you want off this thingy. As you can see, it works perfectly fine. Another emulator I have is called Melon DS. And what Melon DS is a Nintendo DS emulator, and I will show you that in a second. So let me open this up. Here we go. We're into Melon DS here. And this is what it is. So Melon DS, yes, is basically your DS. You might be wondering how you do double screen. I'll show you that in a second. But if you click browse, these are all your DS games, and these are all the games I have over here for my Switch. So if I open up Mario real quick, you gotta press these two buttons right here, the ZL and ZR buttons, to get to your save state. So I have a save state already because I was playing a few games of Mario on this. So it takes a second to load on this thing. Once it's done, as you can see, it's a whole game of Mario on this thing, and these are your two screens. So if you press it, it will work. As you can see, I'm pressing it and the W1 is moving and everything. But that's basically what this thing is. So if you want to exit out, we press these two trigger buttons again, and we can press close. Then we just exit out of this. Next app I'll show you on this thingy is called Gold Leaf. Now with Gold Leaf, this is how you can get custom profile pics for your Switch by just going to manage user accounts and doing that. And to download games, this is where you go on Gold Leaf. So as you can see here, this is what I have. I don't have any games on this, but what would you do was you would put this here. And then as you can see, it's basically this thing. So I'm just going to press cancel. You press the SD card, then you click USB drives, and then you click this. Right now, I don't have anything on this, so I can't download any games and show you that. But that's that. If you want a tutorial, I'll show you how to do that too. That's basically what this thing is, really. And if you want to exit, you just press plus and you're back to your thing. The next thing I'll show you basically, or the last thing, I guess, for this thing is called Themester. So that's how you get the custom themes, like PlayStation themes and all this stuff. You have to go through a website, and you can directly download them through the NX Themes app right here. Then there's also this thing called NX MT Dump, which is basically, you don't need to take out your SD card to transfer files. You could just plug it in with a USB Type-C and it would work like that. Then we have this thing, Reboot to Payloader. So for here, this is your whole home menu, or your Hecate menu actually. And this is where you put your payloads in. For example, if you want to boot back into Switch OS, you click fuse.bin right here. So that's what this is. And then if you want to run Android, which I got to play Steam games and everything, you just click more configs, and then you click switch root Android 10. So this is basically what it does. You can run Android off this thing and play Steam games if you really wanted to off this. So yeah, let this thing load for a second and then I can show you that. But basically it's full on Android 10, I'm pretty sure, and it's running off Pico. It's Android 10 Pico, and it has Google Apps and everything. And it's a good way if you want to not carry two things. Like this thing can now serve as a tablet, so that's a good thing. And I can actually watch Netflix on my Switch, which you cannot originally do. You can only watch YouTube and Hulu on your Switch, but yeah. Also on my Switch, so I don't get banned, I also have spoofing enabled. What spoofing is, basically it hides that your Switch is jailbroken, and it gets rid of your online play stuff, mainly. And it's a good thing if you don't want to get banned by Nintendo. And that's what I have. But now we're into Android OS right here. As you can see, I have everything right here. I have a browser, some games here. It can run Roblox, and see these controllers work perfectly fine. So you can run games just off this alone. Discord works on this thingy. You can call, you can use the web browser, everything on this thing. Instagram, it's basically just an Android tablet now. But the cool thing with this thing is there's something called Dolphin Emulator. If you click this thing, this is where you can play Wii games now. So now the Switch can play Wii games, a lot of console games. And then there's also a way to play 3DS games off this thing too. But you can just select your game and play it. But also another cool thing is if you just want to play the Wii menu, you can just do this. So you click this button here, 3 dots. I gotta go back real quick. It's a Dolphin. So you click the 3 dots and then you click load Wii system menu. And it'll load into a whole Wii menu. So as you can see, it's just doing its check and everything. And the controllers do work once again for the emulators. You just gotta configure your pads and everything. So it works just fine. But as you can see, it works. And the tensor, not the sensor, the Wii remote sensor thingy works, as you can see. So I can click this and I can just confirm by pressing A. And that's basically what the Wii menu is. The next thing here I'll show you is the Steam thingy. Steam Link is pretty cool because I can actually play all my Steam games on the Switch, but it can only work if you have a PC. As you can see, the latest game was Forza I played, so if I just connect it to my PC real quick, it will start doing its own thing. So let it give it. And now we're into the same thing. It's basically streaming games to your Switch. So as you can see, I can play Forza, all the games. These are the games I have on my Steam account. And you can play a lot of different Steam games on this thing. And controllers work just fine. And as you can see, I can just boot up Forza and I can just play. So you don't need to bring a laptop or anything. This thing, you can just stream it off this thing. And it streams pretty good. The whole streaming thing just depends on your Wi-Fi, if you have good or bad Wi-Fi. So yeah, it's just launching the game. But give it a second. I can show you this too in a second. But that's basically what the Forza does. And you can play all your Steam games. Also, you can add GTA and other stuff like other games that are not from Steam by doing the whole thingy. I forgot how you add Steam, like non-Steam games to Steam. But as you can see, your mouse, everything works. You click it, and then we just gotta press this to make that thing go away. And as you can see, it's full Steam. So I paused the game real quick, and now we're just gonna close this thing real quick. As you can see, this thing works. Next thing I'll probably show is Netflix, because a lot of people want Netflix on the Switch. And I do have Netflix working on the Switch, but I won't show you it working fully because of copyright thing. But as you can see, it can run Netflix now, which is pretty cool. YouTube and other stuff can't work on Android, I think, yet, but it works on regular Switch OS. Only thing I think that really works is Netflix and everything. But that's that. You can also call on Discord. I think I already mentioned that, but that's basically it. Another thing I have on my Switch is when you hold this thing, you usually have to turn it off and then go into this whole RCM loader and everything. I completely got rid of that whole thing by doing something in developer options. So when you press restart, you can click restart to the bootloader. So let me press that. I think I exited out. Also, when one controller's off, you can't play like this, then your controllers won't work. You have to have them on, then your controllers will work, as you can see. But if you hold the power button, we can click restart. Okay, restart, and then here's bootloader. Then it'll launch back into Hecate. As you can see, when you're in Hecate, you can do the stuff. Now, once you do jailbreak your Switch, if you don't like always carrying an RCM jig with you, there's an option here. So, like on the tools thing, I'll show you that in another video. There's a way to get rid of the RCM jig thing completely. And the only thing you need is just your RCM loader. So you don't need to just slide off your Joy-Cons and do this. Only thing is, when you fully turn off your Switch, you always need an RCM loader with you. Because if you don't have an RCM loader with you, your Switch will not boot at all. That's the only downside of having this thing. But if you do have the jig with you and the RCM loader, you can just do it off that. Or if you want to completely go to original Switch OS, then you should not do this thing where you don't need the RCM jig. But if you don't have an RCM loader with you, if you do turn it on, then your Switch won't boot on, and it will basically just be bricked until you just install the payload to the Switch. But to go back, and once again, you just press fusey.bin. That's for me on my payloads, and I think that should be all for like almost everybody, really. But let it load for a second, and then yeah. As you can see, I'm back into the Switch OS here, but this is basically it for my jailbroken Switch. But yeah, the profile pic's still here, as you can see, and it has that custom animation stuff, as you can see. The little canal, everything's here. Custom profile pics. It's pretty cool to have because I don't like the original Switch ones and everything. And this thing does have a pretty cool, decent game library once you do jailbreak it. Because games alone are $60 for the Switch, and I'm not trying to pay $60. And there will be a tutorial I'll show you one day on how to get free games for your Switch. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I think that's it for the video. But yeah.